Hi, I'm Brian, and I'm a game show junkie. Jay Wolpert is one of the most underappreciated creative minds in the history of game shows. Many of his great creations include I said many of his great creations were Judging by the technical issues that we're having here, we're going to be talking about his addictive word game, I said Blackout! Blackout was the only game show that had the dubious distinction of being replaced by the same game show it replaced. On January 4th, 1988, Blackout replaced fan favorite $25,000 Pyramid, only to be replaced by $25,000 Pyramid 3 months later. Why did this replacement not catch on? Let's dive in and find out. For most of his creations, Jay Wolpert would start with an animated opening that would morph into the show. In the case of Blackout, the opening shows off the gimmick of the game, the blackout button.
Rita tells me I'm going to meet a tall man with glasses who'll love me on sight. Well, I'm sitting at the airport 3 weeks later, and some guy catches my eye and smiles. Now, he didn't wear glasses, and he was sitting, so I couldn't tell if he was tall. I rushed to my analyst, Dr. Flunkin, to get a scientific...
Then the announcer breaks in, introducing the celebrity players, contestants, and the host, Bob Goen. The object of the game was to fill in a word puzzle comprised of 1 or 2 sentences with 4 words missing. The celebrities describe one of the missing words for 20 seconds, while the contestant wears a headset and pushed forward so they could not hear the description or read their lips. After the description, the contestant hears what was said, but the other celebrity uses the blackout button to censor up to 7 seconds of important information. However, if an important word was repeated during the description, the other team got 1 extra second of blackout time for each repetition. This led to a hilarious moment.
Well, I got good news and bad news. The bad news is you had 8 repetitions, but the good news is you have the blackout record now for the most blackout seconds. Marcia now has 15 seconds of blackout time. Elaine will explain this to you in a bit. Let's play it back. Elaine, listen very carefully.
Just tell stories. They talk. Oh. They just over the neighbor's backyard.
Oh, pretty enlightening, wasn't it, Elaine? All right, any idea what the word is?
Well, I heard they tell stories in neighbors' backyards, so I'll say, is it a gossip?
Oh, yes! That's remarkable. Marcia.
Can you believe it?
Oh, my goodness. Well, the problem was, the reason all the repetitions, he was explaining gossip, and he said, talk.
If they guess the word, they win $100 and a chance at solving the puzzle. If not, the other team gets a chance to steal the word. The team can then try solving the puzzle or move on to the next word. If both teams fail to get the 4th word, the host reads the perfect description written by the writers. The first player to buzz in and guess the word gets control of the puzzle. They didn't have to get to the 4th word to solve the puzzle. In fact, a couple of people have solved a puzzle with as little as 2 words.
Sue never cared for her union until she had a baby. Now she's a spokeswoman for the labor movement.
That's it, on 2 words. Did you get that, Marcia? Is that yours? Oh, holy mackerel. That's terrific.
As you can tell, the writers love to slip a joke into these puzzles.
Little Susie got a chainsaw and took it to her friend's lumber party.
That's it. Yeah, you tied it up. Great job. Lumber party. Okay.
After the first puzzle is solved, the contestants and celebrities switch places, so the contestants describe and black out. The second puzzle is then revealed. The first team to win 2 puzzles wins the game. However, if the second puzzle ends in a 1-to-1 tie, the tie is broken with a one-word showdown. Both celebrities put on the headsets, and the team who won the most money throughout the game is shown the word. They decide if they want to describe it for 10 seconds or pass it to their opponent and black it out for 3 seconds. Game is played as before, and if the word is guessed, that team wins. If not, the other team wins. The winners move on to the bonus round, which is played on a clue screen. One person has their back turned to the screen, and the other person looks at the screen. They're shown a category and up to 6 clues for that subject. Each clue is revealed one at a time. Once they think enough information is revealed, they yell out, "Solve it!" The first person turns around and tries to guess the subject with the clues given. Play goes on for 70 seconds.
70 seconds? Where did he come up with such an odd time?
Play goes on for 70 seconds or until they get 5 right, which nets them $10,000. If they fail, they get $250 for each right answer. Veteran art director Ed Flesch was given the difficult task of assembling a set for a game that had an odd format. His delivery was a set with a mishmash of colors and shapes. The central background is a clear board with neon triangles and squares. The contestants' primary colors were red and yellow. I wonder if the set designers of Funhouse got inspiration from this show. One thing Flesch did correctly was have the background purple when the background colors turned off.
I know it's called Blackout, but could you imagine if most of the background made people invisible? That's like one of those gags where it was so dark all you could see was somebody's eyes.
One clever thing Flesch did was replace the O in Blackout with a light bulb, which was on at the beginning and went out for the remainder of the show. The host was the underappreciated Bob Goen. Before Blackout, Goen was behind the podium for such stinkers as Perfect Match, The Home Shopping Game, and Beat the IRS Legally.
I'm not kidding. Here's Bob mentioning it a year later on the Pat Sajak Show.
Now, you've done game shows before.
I've done many, yeah, but none of them successfully. They've all been 13-weekers.
What were some of the real stinkers?
The real stinkers? Oh, boy,
no,
let's
stinkers,
see.
But...
Beat the IRS. I swear to you, it was
you did a show called Beat the IRS?
Beat the IRS
Sounds
Legally.
Like
I know, it didn't even get there. It was that bad.
Just because his shows were mostly 13-weekers doesn't mean he's a bad host. In fact, I believe he was a really good host. With Blackout, he explained the game well, had fun with the celebrities, and made the contestants feel comfortable. Also, just as important, he was so invested in the game, he was as excited as the contestants when they won $10,000.
Tom Selleck. That's it!
No clue what it was. No clue. That's great. Good for you. Good for you, Al. Okay.
I'm not sure how to describe the theme of Blackout, but if I had to try, I'd call it a theme with a party atmosphere. Here's a small bit from the end of an episode.
Blackout is a Jay Wolpert production in association with Pat Entertainment Television Incorporated. From Television City in Hollywood, this is Johnny Gilbert speaking.
The sounds were unique, even though they were similar to other dings and buzzes. The one that comes to mind is the clang in the bonus round.
Animal crackers.
That's 2. This is a title.
That sound has been with all of Jay Wolpert's shows ever since the cult classic whoosh. There were 2 times up sounds. One for when the description time was up, and one for when the blackout time was up. Other than those sounds, the only other unique sound was the one played when a puzzle was revealed. After watching the majority of the series, I've concluded the catchphrase of Blackout is said in the animated opening.
Wouldn't it be nice if everyone had a blackout button? Well, today, Ken Kercheval from TV's Dallas and his contestant partner, Elaine Chappelle, and Marsha Warfield from Night Court and her contestant partner, Andy Swift, all have blackout buttons. Right here on Blackout!
This was the first time a catchphrase has been uttered by a game show announcer.
There you have it, Blackout. So why did it flop? Some say it was because the game was too complicated. Others say it was because it was trying to replace a juggernaut. I say it was because of that darn blackout button. You've seen how annoying somebody's been using it on me ever since. Alright, that's it. Enough is enough. Until next time, I'm Brian, your game show junkie, saying...